Hi, Nina. Hey, Immune Cookie. Hi, William. How are you? I'm just gonna add a little bit of blush. Whoa, Justin. Wait, you're in Oklahoma, right? Hi, Alex. Hi, Josh. Cool, you changed your profile. Gift card Fridays. What's up? Justin, are you okay? That's some crazy weather. Hi, Devornial. Your house is okay. It's just your carport. Your house is okay. I'm so glad. Were other people's houses destroyed? You're doing great, William. That's wonderful. Did that do anything? Yo, I'm not gonna lie. This is like my favorite. This is the only makeup you ever need. Fooey. Fooey. I know I have some there. I don't care. Nina, I have a question which I hope you can answer. I loved you in Raina's Ailey. Thank you. Was there a reason why she was killed off so early? Yeah. Yeah. Um, the reason, okay, I'll just give it to you. Now when I think about it, it's like, should you make decisions for a piece, for a work of art based on what's going on at the present time, knowing that it will continue to exist in perpetuity, in which case, like, what was going on at the time will be lost will be lost, kind of, like the context will be lost. But at the time, Game of Thrones was really big. And fantasy, Rain wasn't a fantasy, but the clothes were the same, so. There was like some comparison to be drawn about that. And I believe that Red Wedding had just happened, or it happened very, very recently. And so the writers were like, oh, cool. Like, a lot of shows, I think, did this at the time. And I personally, I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. If a show does that to me, I'm like, I'm angry. I'm hurt. But that's kind of the point. George R.R. Martin, that's like his whole thing. So the writers on Rain were like, oh, okay, we need to shock and awe the audience. We need to make them feel unsafe in that same way. We need to do something surprising and let them know that just because someone is a main character doesn't mean they're like there. Doesn't mean they're protected in any way. Doesn't mean that the stakes of this world aren't real. And to be honest, like, historically speaking, yeah, people tended to die a lot more often back then, I think. So yeah, it came down to like, I believe it came down to either me or Greer. And the thing, and they decided to go with me because it would kind of hurt more, because Ailey was so sweet that you wouldn't. It was a bit of a lamb to slaughter situation, so that's why. It wasn't intended from the very first inception of the show. Matthew, hi. Callie, how you doing? Hi, Private. There were a lot of fallen trees. I got my... Hi, Flora. I think you're cool. Lilith, hi. Really? Do I have a doppelganger? I want to meet my doppelganger. And then we'll go on tour. Callie, there's always future streams. Yeah. Private. Any good news? Kind of. Things are really good for me right now. Yeah, I'm so okay. And you got power back today. Justin, I'm really glad you're okay. I'm glad you're okay. Yeah. I always think like it's a miracle. Like whenever when I see like traffic and when I see like crazy drivers, I'm always like, it's a miracle. We're all okay. Like there's some like crazy thing going on that keeps us so safe most of the time. Flora, you're 7? Are you really 7? I did say this wasn't for kids. I mean, you can be here. Of course you can be here. I don't talk about anything inappropriate. She's your favorite. That's so nice. Yeah, so that's what happened. That's what happened. I think like the studio execs put a lot of pressure on the writers. They were like, we need to be shocking and surprising. So that's like unfortunately one of the things that happens when you're trying to tell a story is other people have other agendas of what story should be told and the effect that it needs to have in order to compete, because there's a lot of people trying to tell a lot of stories. But thank you for liking my character. I really liked her too, and I was really sad I didn't get to see her through, you know. Yeah, it is good to be streaming again. I have some plans. We'll see. I'm not gonna give anything away, but yes, I'm here, and thank you guys for being here on a Sunday. It just like would have been really difficult for me to go live yesterday, but this is great. That's okay, Justin. Okay, take care of yourself. Hey, Fatal, what's up? Oh no, my music. Yeah, Justin, I'm really glad you're okay. Any acting gigs? Yes. I mean, I'm in. Yes, I'm just gonna answer your question shortly. Yes. Thanks, Nina. Rain is actually really fun. The clothes are the clothes. I want to say that like I heard a rumor that the pitch to was it the CW was like imagine was like all about the clothes. Was like imagine free people set in set in like it's 16th century, right? It's 16th or 17th? Set in 16th century France. Free people in 16th century France. Dun dun. That was the pitch for the show. I think they pulled it off. You did? Yo, Wednesday, I was like, what was that? What was that live stream? How long does it take me to write a song? Okay, I've actually discovered it like really doesn't take me a long time. And my first instincts are usually correct. but sometimes you need to explore other options in order to like hone in, and sometimes it like really depends on how many elements you want to put into it. So like that song, I mean, I think what I have, it took me like a few days, but it's only like a guitar line, you know? So I know some people take like months to finish a song, and I think that comes down to like all those different elements and the layering. So like a song, I guess like what is a song? I'm trying to like hone in on like a song is something that like, hey, this is a song. I can like it's actually shareable. And that I think I can do in like a few days. But then shareable on like it sounds like what you might find on Spotify, that's a completely different thing. But I guess you're not really asking about production, you're more asking about songwriting. A few days. You just end up like improvising, really. It doesn't take long. It's not hard, guys. Writing a song isn't hard. It's really not. I was really thinking about, I was like, it's actually really, really easy. Yeah. You just do call and response. But thank you for saying that about my music. Any work or TV that I want to talk about? I don't know. I'm kind of more excited about, I'm kind of like more looking forward. So I'm actually like more excited about this other project I'm trying to get off the ground. Because like there's more me in it, and it's more like how I would like to portray myself as opposed to like how other people might cast me. So I'm kind of more thinking about that. Fatal, thanks for stopping by. Miss you. A song has to be sung, otherwise it is a piece of instrumental music. Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess a song is sung. Yeah, you're right. What's my project? It's a feature. I don't want to describe it. It's a feature. It's like Fleabag meets Lost in Translation. Kind of. But I'm really like trying to get the tone right. And I'm like trying to really figure out the line between, like, I don't want it to be like sad for the sake of being sad, like sad girl porn, you know what I mean? But I don't just want it to be like romantic comedy, sugar cakes and dust, but I want some of that in there too. Like I want some wish fulfillment in there too, and I want comedy. I want it to be funny, but I want it to be authentically funny in the way that, you know, the funniest people in your lives actually are. I want it to be that kind of funny, not like, yeah. So like the character the character is like very dry, very funny, very like Chandler like, and I'm trying to find that line between like, yes, she's funny, and it's like coming from a place of self-defense, you know? Oh, you can stick around. Fatal, yay. Okay. Private. Melons or watermelons? Really? Watermelons are melons. I don't understand the question. I don't understand. Hi, Adam. yeah, I can't. Yeah, thanks, William. Ouch. Ouch. Yeah. I don't know what to say to that. Okay. I think I'm gonna talk. Because that's what I do here, right? That's what I do here. Thank you guys for being here. You show up every week. You're all amazing. You really are. Okay, so this is what I want to talk about. You mean you're bad? Oh. Private, I love you. It's okay. I like the honeydew, okay? Just because no one loves honeydew. So like, let's celebrate that honeydew. So it's better. Yeah, I can't. And also it's like, you know, yeah, I can't talk about things coming. Do you have a dream role or genre you like to do? Yeah, I really want to do Regency era. Really, 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 really badly. I really want to do Austin. Put me in a dress. Put me in a dress. But like, let's make the hair not like, you know, let's not do the Jennifer L. Let's do something better, but put me in a dress, okay? Okay? Take notes. Yeah, also, if I got to be in anything that Sally Rooney has written, that would be a dream. Like, we're just working with Paul Mescal. Or Matthew. Oh my God, there's so many people I'd love to work with. Okay. Yeah, so this is what I was thinking about that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to talk about false conclusions. Okay? Meaning, I always feel like I don't know where to start with this. Meaning, chances are your life is like built, constructed on false conclusions. And most people's are. And sometimes those false conclusions actually work and are supportive, but like, and sometimes they're shit, okay? They're shit. They're wrong. They're false conclusions. And what I mean by this is like, you have this like 3D reality, right? You have these like data points. You have these things and these other people walking around, and you have these stories and these events and these details and these material objects and these jobs and these careers and these features and this weather and this culture and this da 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 da. And everything you see is actually meaningless. And you're never actually experiencing reality. Like, we don't have access to reality. It's not something outside of us. Do you get it? Like, we're here as like faithful interpreters. We take it in, we give it meaning, we push it back out. We're like transcribers. We're like, okay, this is that, this is that, this is that, this is that. And in that sorting process, we create a life. We create a sense of reality around us, okay? But the thing is, a lot of this happens when you're really, really young, okay? A lot of this happens when you're really, really young. So your knowledge base and your ability to interpret, your ability to understand what's going on or to make like objective decisions about what's going on is really limited and heavily influenced by the adults in your life who seem to know what's going on, and they act like they know what's going on, and they do it really, really convincingly. So something happens in your life and you make a conclusion. And I think like probably the most pernicious and common one is something happens and you feel rejected or unwanted or punished or wrong in some way, and you make the false conclusion, I'm not enough, or I'm bad, or I'm stupid, or they don't like me, or I don't deserve this, or this is how it goes for me, or I should never, ever, ever try that again, or oh, I never get what I want, or oh, this is never going to work for me. So you make these conclusions, which are actually like not true, but it's a decision. Conclusion is actually a decision. You're saying, yes, these are the results from the test. Conclusively, this is what it is. But unless you like, you guys think you're really, really scientific with your assessment of like who you are and what's going on? You're not. It's false. Okay, it's a false positive. It's not true. It's not true, but you decided. You got the evidence back and you decided in that moment. You made a conclusion, you decided, and then you firmly walked forward like it was true and you made it true. Okay? And you continue to make it true until you decide otherwise. So the story I wanted to tell about this, and actually like it's really interesting because we'll tell the story first. So when I was really little, I was put into a choir, which I actually really liked. I really, really liked singing, and I really liked choir. I thought the harmonies were like really amazing, and I got to do it with my friends. But the thing was, I was placed in the alto section. And I feel like I've talked about this before. And the reason I was placed in the alto section, okay, is because I don't know how to describe this. Like, I just knew how to access my chest voice. I just like somehow, you know how like you're just like, oh, I don't know, I just know how to do it. I just knew how to access my chest voice, like at a young age. I knew how to hit those low notes. I just knew how to. And then they also needed those low voices with like, you have like 8-year-old little girls. You need some low voices. You can't have everyone in soprano. So, okay, we need to fill up this section. Typically altos are like the smaller section, but you need someone to sing those harmonies. So they fill up that section and they say, you're an alto. Okay, you're this now. I have given you this identity. I've concluded who you are. This is who you are now. Okay. And I remember being like really, really sad about this. Because you don't get to sing the melodies. You don't get to sing the good stuff. You don't get to sing the melodies. You support. You're the support system if you're the alto. And it was like, oh, cool. Because I just like, I didn't know this at the time, but in hindsight, it's like, oh, because I just like knew how to do this thing that was actually really essential, because I knew how to go low and support in this way, I got placed there because someone needed to. Okay. And then suddenly you're like, oh, right, this is who I am. Now, like years later, I had a voice teacher who was like, yeah, you're not an alto. Like, yes, you can hit those low notes, but actually most of the population, for what it's worth, most men and women are sopranos and tenors. Like, most of the population is that. So yeah, you're a soprano, maybe a mezzo, but again, what the hell is that? But you can definitely go high, meaning, yeah, you're a soprano who can hit low notes, you know? And actually these delineations, like, are really archaic at this point, and we're learning so much about the voice that we didn't before. Like, we learned more in the past 10 years about the voice than we ever have before. but that really messes you in a way that like really messes you up as a kid. And it's such a like defining thing actually, that you can again like have this false conclusion spread out and be like, cool, I'm not the lead, I'm not the melody, I'm the support system, because I can, because someone has to, you know. And then maybe you're in a family where you're super sensitive and you recognize everyone else is kind of like flailing, and you're like, cool, okay, I'm gonna like be okay because everyone else like can't handle anymore. And then they go, oh look, she's okay because we need her to fulfill that role, we need that. And then suddenly she becomes good at being okay. Or, oh, look how smart she is. Look how sensitive she is. Maybe she needed to become sensitive in order to like gauge everyone else's feelings because it was chaotic growing up. Okay. So like you become what is needed. You're not that. Do you got it? Like you're making decisions, you're making conclusions, you're making choices. And at any given point in time, you're allowed to make a new conclusion and make a new decision because the needs have changed. And now you have more information. And now you're like, actually, I was like plugging a hole and yeah, it worked. But now I see that like maybe we don't need to go around in a rusty old bucket. Like maybe we can upgrade. Maybe I don't need to continue to be the duct tape over this patch. Maybe actually, if I decide I'm something else, that is a much better solution. And I don't have to continue to live in this identity that was never really mine to begin with. So yeah, I mean, I was thinking of like other topics in that of just like we make these like knee-jerk conclusions, and if you actually put it under the light of day, you can redecide, right? You can go like, oh right, I didn't have all the information, or like I was seeing things from like a very limited perspective. I was thinking about like people who are like, oh yeah, I have bad skin. Be careful with your language. Be careful with like your knee-jerk assessments, right? First of all, you don't have bad skin. What is that? Bad skin. Bad skin. You have good skin. Your skin is like miraculous. Your skin is the stuff that keeps you in. You have beautiful skin. Beautiful skin that is working to the best of its capability, really. And maybe it just needs some extra love. So instead of making a conclusion about it, actually get curious. Okay, like what kind of skin is it? It's actually really, really good. So what's going on? Oh, maybe it just needs some love. Oh, but it's not clear. Well, some places it's clear. Like get more specific, make better conclusions, make more decisions, and also put things as much as possible in the past, because you're making conclusions about who you are today based on what was there yesterday. That person is gone. That person is literally gone. You're you today. I don't care what you've accomplished in the past. Truly. It only matters if you decide to bring it here. Any failures don't follow you unless you bring them there. Do you get that? Like you get a blank slate every day. So stop concluding that you are something because of what happened. If you had bad skin yesterday, who are you today? What do you decide for today? What conclusion do I make today? Actually, I have great skin. I've had trouble in the past. You can do that. It's over there. I'm putting that in a shelf. Or you can decide, no, actually, you know what? I'm going to forget completely about any kind of identity where I had less than perfect skin. I'm going to completely forget, because the only thing that I'm ever experiencing is my own awareness, my own consciousness, my own sense of self. So I don't care. I'm not going to make decisions about who I am based on something I don't prefer. I'm not going to experience myself as something I don't prefer. I'm not going to be aware and like give homage to or do penance for things that I no longer choose for myself, for conclusions I will no longer abide by. So I guess like, yeah, in thinking about this, I wanted to challenge you all with like, what are the conclusions you're actually living by right now? Where like you got the test results back and you were like, yes. Yes. Was it like, I am not good at math? No. You scored something on a test. That doesn't mean anything. It means literally you scored something on a test. That is all it means. Or you're like, oh, I'm unlovable. No, it means certain people were a certain way with you. Period. That's all it means. You get to fill in the rest. You always fill in the rest. It means certain things happened. It means they said certain words and they looked certain ways and you interpreted a certain way. That's all that happened. Really, can you get that? Like, there's like, what happened? Really, this is your life. There's like, what happened? Like, and then there's like, what it meant. What I did with it. How I chose to move forward and behave and feel because of it. And that's actually, I'm not putting that down, but that's where creation happens. That's where life happens. That's what it is to be a human. But you're doing it. So stop pretending like you're not in charge. That's actually your life. Your experience of yourself, your experience of the world, that's actually your life. Like, stop pretending otherwise. Your conclusions are what's driving everything. You literally are what's driving everything. It's not your circumstances. It's not the facts. It's not. Literally this thing, this like feeling thing, this like, that's your life. You know it because when it feels bad, it's excruciating and you don't want to do it anymore. But what you're responding to is you, right? Is that feeling. Like, the facts are pretty stable. And it's also why, like, you can have the best life in the world objectively. It does not matter. Because it doesn't matter, actually. It's not what makes things. It's not the source. You are. That stuff doesn't give you anything, actually. You give to it. That stuff doesn't determine you. You determine it. It's coming from you. You give life. It does not give life to you. It does not get to decide things about you. It literally doesn't. That's insane to think that it does. Other people do not decide who you are. Do you get that? Other people do not decide. Do you know how insane that is? Like, oh yeah, that person's treated me that way, so that must be who I am. That's not actually what you're dealing with. You're dealing with something that you decided, you accepted, you concluded. That's all you're ever dealing with. And every time that you like bow down and you concede and you make yourself small and you make yourself powerless and you make yourself like despicable or hateful or unforgivable or any of those other things, like, you did that. And I'm sorry you did that. I'm sorry that it was convincing that that was the right thing to do. But you don't have to. You don't have to when you're not seeing things clearly. If you ever decide that like you're not enough or you're not good or you're not capable, you're just not seeing the big picture. And so I ask you to look again. Run the test again, okay? Because the truth is like you're everything. This life that you have, each and every one of you, you have this like vivid, exciting, beautiful, amazing universe inside of you. You have everything. You are everything. everything that you experience is coming from you. It's coming from you. Do you get that? Like, do you know how like expansive and amazing and magical you are? And if anything ever seems to convince you otherwise, yeah, that's a flaw in the glass. Okay? Look again. Look again. Yeah. I ask you to look at the false conclusions in your life. Like me personally right now, I'm really looking at the things that I've decided I'm just like, just aren't possible for me, or I'm not good at, or oh, this is overwhelming, or like, oh, this scares me, or I don't know how to do this. Those are all conclusions. And I'm like, but what if I did? What if I was that person? What if it's not hard? What if it's not hard? What if like all those people out there that are like really, really living their best lives and succeeding, like, what if they're really not that smart or talented? Not in a like, how do I mean this? Not in a like that they're not smart and talented, just that it actually isn't that hard once you decide you can do that too. When you just decide, actually, that's available. Actually, yeah, I can do that. I can do that. If someone else can do it, I can do it. Search for meaning that makes you feel good, that makes you feel important, that makes you feel positive, that makes you feel like you're on the right track, like things are working out. Like, search for, again, you're giving meaning to everything. So give meaning and create the world like it's a friggin' masterpiece, because it is. Like, you're actually creating. So you're not responding, you're creating. If you were making this day, and if you were making up this person, if you got to decide literally today, you're like, got a paintbrush and you get to make this person. You make them. What do you choose? What colors do you pick? I feel like I've used this metaphor before. What tone? What texture? It can be anything you want. Anything, anything, anything. This isn't like, oh, it has to be like sunshine and rainbows. But it's yours. It gets to be yours if you choose it to be. And also, like, you're never, ever, ever done. You're never cooked. You're never defeated unless you decide. You're never cooked, okay? Ever. Ever. And you're never alone unless you decide. You're never alone. You're never helpless. You're never hopeless. And it's never not working out unless you decide. Okay? Stop making bad, false conclusions. Okay? Run the test again. Look at more data points. Be active in your own life. Don't just respond. Don't just react. It's yours. And it feels good. It's not work. It's not work. It's like, it's your right. It's your inherent right. It is the best thing. Like, what do I want to say? It's your natural gift. Let's put it that way. You can't not do it. You can't not do it. You are so good at this. You've been doing it your whole life, giving meaning to things, interpreting, making stories. You are so good at it. You are all such amazing, amazing, amazing storytellers. Amazing. So gifted. So gifted and convincing and compelling and engaging. So amazing. It's your gift, okay? It's like literally what you were born to do. I'm not trying to take this away from you. Like, it's an amazing, 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 amazing skill that every human gets to have. And then one day you go like, oh, I don't have to just like tell this story that I thought I was supposed to keep telling. Like, I can tell any story I want. Any. This is something like, because again, I'm kind of like a writing nerd, and this was This was something I watched in a writing video, like a writing class. Brandon Sanderson, for those who know. And he's like, the really amazing thing about writers and storytellers is like, literally they can do anything they want at any given point in time. Like, that's the magic, is it seems like they're following like rules of a world, but literally they can just be like, and they ended up together, like at any time. But they don't. Literally, they can make the solutions fall out of the sky if they want. They can put any element in there that you're like, oh, right, okay, so this happens. Like, they have absolute control and can decide what happens at any given point in time. They can add like, they're adding everything. So you're doing that too. You actually have that power too. But it looks like, oh, no, there's like all these circumstances and events and like constraints and tensions and enemies to lovers and all of that. You're creating all of it, and it's all good, it's all juicy, it's all beautiful, but like, you're in control. You're in control. You're in control. What a beautiful thing. What do you want to test today? What do you want to test out today that's like, maybe I decided something that I can get rid of now? Maybe I want to edit this out. Maybe I don't like where this little like story element is forcing the characters into. What do you want to test? And by the way, like, once you start thinking this way, like, other things come more naturally, just because you start to see that it's in everything and everywhere. Okay, I want to read the comments. Alex, you always have the best comments. So you think we get to decide literally everything about ourselves? You don't believe some things are just there and we just have to live with them? Okay. Objectively, I think no. I don't think you have to live with anything. There might be like an inherent like essence to who you actually are. What do I want to say about this? I don't know if you're asking that, but there might be an essence to who you are. Oh, okay. First of all, you come down, little earth baby Alexander. There might be an essence to who you are, like already a built-in personality. I don't actually think that matters so much, and I actually think that the paradox is like that if you see that you're like perfect, that you're perfect as you are, I don't think you would actually want to change anything about your essence, because it doesn't, you see that it doesn't get in the way of anything. It's not actually a problem to fix. It's actually something that opens doors. That's what I think. So it's not a limitation if you decide it isn't. Objectively though, like, I do think, yeah, you can completely rewrite it. That's objectively what I think it is. I think though, I think what neuroscientists say, which again, I'm not gonna like say that like neuroscientists know everything, because they absolutely don't, but they would say that you can't get rid of a pathway. So once it's there, it's there. However, you can always write a new one. You can always create a new one. Meaning that, yes, you just create something else. It might be that the thing that existed, in a sense, always exists in that way that everything always exists. It's kind of like if you were, I don't know. No, that's not like a necessary metaphor. It's like a Pandora's box thing, right? Like, once you know what's there, you kind of like know that thing is there. I'm gonna use the metaphor that I was using. I was like, imagine like you're like playing a video game and you end up in like some weird territory that you're like, what's this? And you spend a little bit of time there and you're like, this is a weird world. And then you like go off and you continue the quest. you maybe have this like memory of like, oh yeah, there was like that weird territory back there that like I uncovered. But you're so far gone in this new direction, you don't even know how to get back there. Meaning that for you now, in a very real sense, all that exists is like this new territory you're in, right? Because the only thing that exists is now. You know? You're the guitar guy. Hey, how's the guitar going? Many things seem to be fixed and difficult and out of my control. Look again. Are they? That's just it. Are they? And what is control? Meaning, like, are they actually out of your control? I'm not saying you need to do anything about it. I'm just saying, have you decided something that's not so? Fixed? I would say nothing is fixed. And difficult? Is it difficult? Does it have to be? I don't want you to like get in your head about this. But what if you decided nothing is fixed? Because actually, like, there's lots of evidence that says the only constant is change. Okay, there you go. You have lots of people who will confirm that idea. Difficulty. Lots of other people are probably doing the thing that you find difficult. People that are probably less intelligent, like whatever that means. Maybe even grew up like worse circumstances. Lots of people are doing it. Lots of people might not find it difficult. Therefore, is it objectively difficult? What if you decide it's not? Like, haven't you ever done something where you're like, I know this is easy and I probably can do it. I'm just like missing something. So what if you decide I'm not missing anything and it's easy? And you just pursue that conclusion, you know? Hey, don't miss imaginary friends. Nowhere near having things figured out. Most things I want seem so out of reach and uncertain. Oh, it's all in my control. Okay. Okay. Alex, I just like I want to take that little paragraph, okay? And I want to show you that paragraph, that experience of being that you're going through, that's not actually true. Like, meaning it's not like objectively real in the world. You might like, isn't it possible that 5 years from now you might look back and be like, oh, I thought I was so lost, but actually like I think I did know exactly what I was doing. Haven't you had that experience where like you have this memory of kind of like struggling through something, and then when you look back you're like, I think I like knew some things. Like I think I knew more when I was younger, actually. Haven't you had that experience? Like, so objectively it's not necessarily true that you're lost and nowhere near having things figured out. That's not necessarily true. And having things figured out, I would argue, as like a fixed point in time, I would argue doesn't really exist, because you figure something out and then there's something new. And it's also not necessary. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but it's not necessary to have it figured out. It can make you feel like good about yourself, but you don't actually need to know how you're doing it to do it. But I just want to show you that that feeling, that awareness of yourself, or like where you're at in life, is coming from you, and therefore you're in control of it. Meaning like it's you. Like it's things you're deciding are true minute by minute. So if you decide new things in the exact same way that you're doing, in the exact same way, you will get different results. So even if you feel lost, but what if I'm not? What if I don't buy into that feeling? Yes, I can sing the low notes, but I'm not an alto. I feel lost, but what if I'm actually not lost? I'm in the perfect place. I actually do have things figured out, or I'm in the process of figuring things out, or I'm figuring out new things every day. It's getting clearer and clearer. Actually, the things that I want are closer than they appear. It can happen really fast. It can happen really soon. And I'm enjoying the process of getting closer and closer to them. And I'm starting, and this is a really good one too. And I'm really starting to understand how things are in my control. I'm starting to see evidence of that. I'm starting to feel in control. What if I am in control? What if I understand? Like, what if it just comes to me one day and I'm like, oh, I'm in control. I get to decide. I don't have to react to everything around me. I don't have to react to my thoughts. I don't have to react to like fear-based feelings. What if I actually have choice every minute and I just keep choosing that I don't? And what if I don't choose that anymore? And I just make a decision right here and right now. Either I don't need to figure things out, or I actually have figured it out. I figured it out. I figured it out. I know. I know I'm in control. I see it. I see it plain as day. And I live like I'm in control. And my life is working out perfectly. And I choose that. I choose that because the opposite isn't. They're just two sides of a coin. Oh, it's already 1. I'm gonna have to go soon. I think if I think back to like places where I've had difficulty with this, it's almost like you have this loyalty to reality. This loyalty. Like I need to stand by this experience or this struggle. I need to make it right in some way, you know? I can't just let it go. I need to make it right. I need to do something with it. It's been like my companion for so long. And I can't just abandon it, and I can't just pretend like it's not real. I can't do that. And there is something to like validating your own experience and processing it. There really is something to that. If it makes you feel more compassionate towards yourself, and it allows you to soften around the edges of it. But I'd really say like you don't owe it your loyalty. You don't owe it your life. Your life is yours. And just because you made one painting that you keep trying to like, yeah, look, look, this is my life. And you're like, I kind of wish I could like move on and make another painting, but I don't know, I really like, I thought, you know, like, this is my painting. Like, you're allowed to make other paintings. You're allowed to make other things and become loyal to those. What about all the stories, all like the ways of being that you're not choosing, that you're abandoning by your not moving on, you know? All those other ways of being, all those like people. Imagine like there's actually a world where like Alex, you are like the fully realized self. Like you're confident, you're secure, I don't know your life fully right now, but I imagine that like there's this version of you that has like relationships that you don't have now, and like has impact that maybe you don't have now, and a whole world just like waiting for you to step into that like legitimately wants, craves, needs you. And with your continued like loyalty to this other world, that like that new exciting one that you actually want, that's actually meant for you, is like on hold. And it's like, when's he getting here? But he's supposed to be here by now. And I don't mean that to add pressure, I mean that to like add excitement. Like, you get to, it's okay, just decide, like, it's okay, you don't have to work it out. I know someone said, hey, this is a problem you need to fix. No, nope, they were wrong. You can just drop it. You can just decide, meh, because that's actually what fixes the problem. Do you get it? It's, look, the only way I can say that like, it's not the only painting, it's the only painting as long as you don't paint another. You know what I mean? Like, you're right. You're right. Until you paint another painting. And then you're like, oh, I didn't realize there was a color green. Like, oh, oh, there's other things. And maybe there's still like some old elements in the new painting, but you just keep painting the new thing, you know? And it keeps becoming more and more. This is actually such a good metaphor. Okay, you know the thing like about how you have this taste, you have this vision, and actually with creatives, like a really big hurdle is putting what you have in here down on the page, or like down in the painting or in the music or whatever. It's actually like translating what's in here to the outside, right? Right? So that might not happen right away, but you get better and better at taking what you actually prefer, your actual vision for yourself, your actual yearning, your actual craving of like what you want to exist in the world. You get better and better, but you only get better and better as long as you keep creating, right? As long as you keep like experimenting and playing and being curious and open, right? If you have a desire to make artwork of other things, if you're happy just with just that one painting, okay, right, I don't want to take it from you. Yeah. The illusion is like you think you're better off sticking to what's, what do I want to say about this? Like you think you're safer and you think you're more powerful in that way with what's familiar. But actually, when you realize that like your power lies in your ability to decide in every moment, like that you are powerful, you're like, oh, nothing can rob me of my own sense of self. Like, therefore, I'm always safe, I'm always powerful. And the more that I test that and stretch that, the more powerful I become, because the more I'm called upon to believe in myself rather than these prison bars. That's all his paintings wanted him to do. Oh, really? Alex, but I would say, like, if the word safe doesn't resonate with you, okay. But I would argue that you do think it's safer, meaning that you think that, like, what's possible, maybe safe is like what's reasonable or what's right, or I'm using the word safe, but like, it's almost like you'll get in trouble if you fly in the face of like what seems real, like, meaning something bad is gonna happen, right? You're being bad if you don't obey whatever's real, right? Arnav? How do I say your name? That's what all his paintings wanted him to do. I learned that, like, what is it? A lot of his paintings that he did in like Auvers-sur-Oise, so a lot of his paintings, it was like in the space of like 30 days or something, or like 60 days, and he was painting like like 2 and more paintings a day. Like, it was in such a short amount of time, actually, and he just kept going. So actually, that's like so interesting when you think about the amount of work that happened in such a short amount of time. And also that makes sense to me. Like, I just think that like that actually perfectly exemplifies what I'm talking about, in that like I'm sure you're aware of this, like the state at which you're in is like where it continue is like what continues to come out. So if it's that short amount of time, of course there's like all these swirls, because like that's where he is at that moment in time. When I sit on to do something and I want help, I just leave everything there and sit in pain. You sit in pain? I just leave everything there, and I don't know how to encourage myself to continue the work. What do I want to say? Okay, I want to say 2 things about this. It sounds like procrastinating. I mean, I hate that word actually, but I think that's how. I know you are, Alex. I do care about you. You got this. You don't have to figure everything out so much. You just have to decide more for like what you actually want. You have to like care more about what you want than what you think is like real. Care about you more than that, okay? I care about you more than that. Arnav. Okay, I got confused by the K. Guitar guy. We did this already. It was a while ago, okay? Give me some... It was a while ago. Okay, Arnav. Guitar guy. What I would say is, first of all, what I see is that you're feeling like motivation is actually an element required to get it done, and that's not true. It's just the action of getting it done gets it done. Do you get that? Like, if you just did it, you would be doing it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to feel any, I know you know this, like, you don't actually have to feel any way about something in order to do it, in the same way that I don't need motivation in order to like brush my teeth. I would feel weird if I didn't brush my teeth, but I don't need to feel a certain way about it. I really don't. So that, first of all, that's why like just starting, just doing it, regardless of how you're feeling, really does like change the energy, because the minute that you're no longer sitting and then not doing it, and maybe like the guilt or whatever that's there, you've like literally changed your state, and you're like, now you're doing it. You'll be like a different person in that moment doing it, and more motivation will actually come from the doing of it, because now you've left behind all those feelings of not doing it, if you understand that. But I would also say that you can I would like look at your stories about yourself in regards to like this thing of like whether you're someone who gets things done, or if there's any kind of like residual guilt or shame like that about like, oh, I don't do these things, or like I'm unreliable, or like I can't, you know, like anything that's like I'm not that person, or I struggled with this. And can you hold the possibility of a version of yourself who's like boss man, you know, who's like, yeah, no problem, who just like does it, not like, I mean, you can take it wherever you want. Is there any version that you can conceive of yourself who's like just able to do those things easily, maybe even like with pleasure? And what if you pretend you're that person? What if you decide you're that person? Lack of necessities, so there's no shame. Well, lack of necessities. I'm glad there's no shame. Annoying. Annoying that I want to do it. Oh, okay. I'm gonna, annoying. I love that. I actually really love that, because annoying is like, it's almost like a good energy. Oh, it's your last name's initial. Thank you. Okay. There's no shame. It's just the lack of necessities. Meaning like it doesn't feel urgent to you, but you want to do it. Like, I don't have that thing. I need. Why do you need that thing? If you want to do it, why isn't that enough? If you want to, why isn't that the thing? Do you actually want to? That thing that I need to. I feel like this just sounds like you think there's like some magical ingredient that other people have that you don't. I can understand that would be annoying, because you want to do something and you're not doing it. And you're like, what the hell is this? Bullseye. Okay, so literally, yeah. You think other people have this like magical like drive. They have drive. They have discipline. Oh, that comes after. That's like, discipline isn't what you think it is. It's really easy to like look at someone and go like, oh, they have discipline, and like, no, they're just on a hamster wheel. That's not discipline. That's just like habit. When people do something, they have everything in control. I see. I love this. Into what's underneath. It's just that when people do something magical, ingredient, they have everything in control. But when I copy them, it messes everything up. Makes perfect sense. Yeah, you're like, makes perfect sense. I hate this. You try to imitate. like this magical thing that other people are doing, thinking that like you don't have those ingredients, like you're lacking in some way, those other people have it, so I need to like reach over there and do that thing over there. Okay, but what if like you inherently have the same stuff? And it's just that how are they able to do it and I am not? I just feel like you're in a bit of a, you've created a bit of a like a nonsensical circle around yourself, feeling that you don't have the missing ingredient. And that's the only problem. You just think you don't have the thing that other people have. And so you need to like be them in some way when actually you have it. You have it. You're going to have your own unique way of doing it. And that's wonderful because it's going to feel the best for you. It's going to be the most exciting and fulfilling for you. But you have the ingredient. Like literally, that's all I need to offer you. Is like you don't need anything else. You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. You don't need to get out of it. You don't need to get out of that circle because you're not missing anything. You have everything you need. So just do it. You do want to do it, meaning you have the motivation. You have the thing. You know how to do it. You just do it. You're not missing anything. You're perfect right now. There you go. Magic dust. Go do it. They're not special. Or you're special too, whichever way you want to look at it. I love this conversation so much. How do I make myself realize that I have nothing missing? How do I make myself realize? You just decide. Again, you're thinking that you need to do something, that you need to figure something out, that you're missing something. I need to make myself. No, you don't. You just decide, I'm not missing anything. Meaning like, okay, you have this concept of yourself. I'm missing something. So like right now you're walking around like, or you're sitting at your desk trying to get with this like concept sitting over you like, I'm missing something. Okay, guess what? We're just gonna go, I'm not missing anything. And then you're gonna move forward like that. And when it comes back down, no, I'm not missing anything. Nope, 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 nope. Until you can't remember what it was ever like to think such a thing. Your actions have to adapt to it. Your actions will adapt to your decisions and your self-concept. Like, meaning move forward as if you're not. Move forward, feel into, I'm not missing anything. Behave, sure. Like, I'm not missing anything. Yes, do it. Do it. But I would say this, like, forcing yourself is unsustainable. And it will become like you want it to be light and joyful. Like you want it to feel like, oh my God, like I was making it so complicated before. I'm not missing anything. It's mine. It's mine. Like it belongs to me. It always did. That's why it drove me crazy watching other people do something that was like mine. Thanks, Stella. Hi. Hi, Kudo. Okay. I feel like you're putting like a lot of like complications and things. Mind and body are two different entities. I mean, like, yes and no. I would say, like, no, actually. I don't know. I would say your body is actually like an extension of your awareness. That's what I would say. So is your mind, for what it's worth. So even if one realizes something, I understand where like you got that idea. One realizes something, meaning like maybe your mind realizes something, but your body has to catch up to it. or maybe the opposite. Yeah, the opposite can be true. So like I just see that like you're it just sounds like complicated. It sounds a bit complicated. Like you need certain things to line up. Like wait, you think you need certain things to line up in order for it to work. And I would say you could just simplify it. Like just simplify it. When you're riding a bike, you're just riding a bike. If you overthink it, suddenly you're like, I have to do that. You're like, how do I ride a bike? You know how to ride the bike. You know how to ride the bike, okay? You don't have to think about how you do it. You don't need to think about what needs to line up and what needs to be like on board. Just decide like I'm not missing anything. I get to do the things I want. I joyfully do the things that I want. um and it works out. It all like lines up. Adapt to what I realize. I would just say like your body. I understand the categories you're creating. I would just simplify it. I would just be like, I'm not missing anything. I do the things I want. And then behave as such. So yes, I guess like put your body in those situations. And if it's ever like freaking out, yes, tell it like, no, we do the things we want now. Yes, if that's how it works for you and your system. Yeah. But like I would just hold that kind of like umbrella assumption, like I follow through on the things I want. No problem. It's easy for me and I don't overthink it. Watching you from Pakistan. Very cool. Okay, whoa, it's already 1:30. Understand you? Oh, Arnav. I'm really glad. I want to hear what happens with you doing this week, okay? Yeah, you're such a sweetheart. I love you. Okay, I am gonna go. But yeah, I don't even know who's on here, but I go live also on Wednesdays at 7. And yeah, you can always like write me a comment, or I'm gonna try to like do more posts, so you guys can always write to me and ask me questions there as well. Yeah, I'll be here Wednesdays 7 Eastern Standard Time. You have to go to bed again. Okay, Arnav. All right. I love you guys so much. So much. Okay, I believe in you. I love you. You're all incredible. You're all enough. You're all whole and complete. You're not missing anything. Okay? And really like I implore you, what's my email? It's Janessa, like how it's spelled, E for my middle name, and Grant at Gmail. I think you can find it on my profile because other people have been able to reach out. Whoa, it's midnight in India. Yeah, you should go to bed. Okay? I'm sending you to bed. But yes, you guys like can always drop me a comment or ask me a question, because I really like, I just truly honestly like want you guys to realize how powerful you are and how in control of your lives and like of everything you actually are. And I want you to be loving every aspect of your life, because that's what you deserve. So if I can in any way facilitate that, I want that. Okay. Hi, Brian, you're here. Oh, it's 10. Oh, wait. It's 10:52. Okay. Okay, it's 11. I don't know why I saw 23. Here we sleep by 11. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I gotta go. All right. I love you so much. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday or next Saturday. Okay. Bye.